If you're looking for the best hair dye, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preference and sorted it based on their features, prices, quality, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have the Henna Guy's 100% pure and natural henna powder for hair dye. The first in the list is a dye with henna powder in it. This is a purely organic option which is also a remedy for damaged hair. There are no chemicals, metals, or pesticides in henna hair dye for gray hair. Naturally, it is used for red and brown hair, but in a mix with other natural ingredients, the color varies. If you are allergic to chemical components, henna hair dye cover gray is the best opportunity for you. According to the Henna Guy's developers, they grow henna themselves without any pesticides or chemicals. They don't test their cosmetics on animals. Henna is used not only for dyeing hair but as a hair mask. So if you don't want to dye it, just pick henna without coloring in it. Beware, henna dye is not as strong as dyes with chemicals or metals. Choosing henna, make sure you will be able to dye your hair twice more often. You will also need to hold the dye longer than usual, up to 45 minutes, before washing it out. Moving on to the next at number 2 with John Frieda Precision Foam Color. Medium Natural Blonde 8N. John Frieda Company has created the easiest way to dye your hair at home. Now you can forget about trying to reach the hair on the back of your head with a special brush. You will have to spread the special foam across your hair and wait for 30 minutes. The easiest way for hair dye cover gray without putting much effort. This dye was made for any hair, including gray. To dye gray hair completely, you will have to wait an extra 10 minutes. Instead of 20 minutes, wait for 30 minutes before washing the dye. Use special after-color conditioner, which you will find in the pack. It protects the hair and locks the color in. If you are allergic to some products, better make a pre-test, putting a drop of the dye on your skin. Do it 48 hours before dyeing your hair. Wait for several minutes and wash the dye. If you have an allergy on one of the components, you will notice it on your skin. This dye contains ammonium for a permanent effect. The number 3 position is held by Revlon Colorsilk Beautiful Color, Dark Soft Brown. Revlon Colorsilk Beautiful Color combines the long-lasting effect and affordable price. It takes care of your hair, making it rich in color and silky. The color looks multidimensional with the extra UV defense. Revlon is a trustable cosmetic making company with a good reputation across the world. The formula in the dye is ammonia-free. The hair is fed with additional silk proteins to avoid possible damage from the dye. If you don't want a dark brown color on your hair, choose one of 41 shades offered in the palette. They even have deep burgundy and natural blue-black hair color. While Revlon positions its dyes as the best over-the-counter hair dye to cover gray, I strongly recommend you to start dyeing your gray locks first. You also need to check possible allergies to other components of the dye. If it does not contain ammonia, there may be other chemicals to guarantee the long-term effect. Read the instructions before you buying it. If you have long hair, you may need to order the second pack. There is an offer for 3 packs in the store. It is convenient and cheaper than buying separately. Don't forget to use gloves to cover your hands while dyeing the hair. Next at number 4, we have Schwarzkopf Keratin Color Anti-Age Hair Color Cream. If you want to find a perfect hair dye for gray-resistant hair, Keratin Color is for you. And Schwarzkopf does it with a style. As usual, from gray, your hair will turn into shining praline, evenly covered and resistant. The pre-color serum protects it from damage, and Keratin makes your hair silky and luminous. The company has used ammonia control technology to decrease the odor. There's 100% gray coverage, promised by developers. And while you change the color of your gray hair, the dye takes care of it with protection technology. According to the manufacturer, your hair will be 80% less damaged compared to other dyes. I recommend you to buy 2 boxes pack, as it will cost you cheaper. 1 box will not be enough for long hair. Start with the most problematic zones and don't stop until you dye your hair. Wait for the time that is recommended for gray hair in a leaflet. Wash it up carefully with conditioner. It is necessary to use protective hair masks a few days after the hair dyeing. Since the dye contains ammonia, make sure you don't have an allergy. The number 5 position is held by LOreal Paris Excellence Cream Permanent Hair Color. Dyeing gray hair light brown is not always the easiest task to do. That is why some women prefer not to take risks no matter how much they want to try something new. This color is always in trend, and L'Oreal makes dyed gray hair maintenance fun and easy. Your gray hair will be under triple protection. Even if you have really stubborn gray hair, it will be dyed in the half of an hour. There's a special conditioner to use after the dyeing procedure. It will protect your hair from damage and increase the effectiveness of the dye. If you want to try something other than cream color, there are 38 various shades in the palette from the jet black to ash blonde. Pro-keratin, ceramide, and collagen protect your hair even after coloring. Before you start dyeing your hair, you need to find out whether you don't have allergies on dye components. Make a test 48 hours earlier of the planned dyeing procedure. If you use bleach, don't combine them with perming. Always read the instruction before using the product. Check the color on the box before buying it, and if you don't know which to choose, go for a lighter tone. The number 6 position is dominated by Natural Best Hair Dye for Gray Hair Jet Black Henna Hair Color. In case you were wondering, does henna hair dye cover gray? The answer is yes. The Henna Guys, a company that is famous for its natural, pesticide-free henna, offers you black dye from 100% organic components. It does not only dye the hair, but it also feeds it and makes it stronger. Henna is an old-fashioned way to dye your hair that still works. It was used by ancient civilizations thousands of years ago, and since then it is still the best way to dye your hair without chemicals. If you have allergies on dye components, but don't want to leave your hair gray, try black henna. One pack contains pure henna and indigo powder. Henna naturally gives a red color, while indigo powder is black. Still, I have to warn you that you will need to use henna a few times to reach the desired color. It is very possible that you will need 2 or 3 packs of henna, which is okay because it is not expensive and does not damage your hair at all. And once you become an experienced user, you may try to experiment with colors by adding or cutting the number of other colors in henna. Mixing henna with other natural powders, like indigo powder or cocoa, may give you up to 70 different shades. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Garnier Nutrisse Nourishing Hair Color Cream. How to dye gray hair brown. Take Garnier Nutrisse Nourishing Hair Color Cream. Pick No 30 Darkest Brown. Spread the cream on your hair and wait for up to 30 minutes. The time depends on the color you want and your hair type. Color is long-lasting, no matter if your hair is completely gray or just partly. Nutrisse palette has 45 various colors. It is basically up to you which color you want inside the formula of the dye. There are 3 natural oils, shea olive and avocado. Besides, this line of hair dyes includes grapeseed oil. The dyes are inexpensive, and I recommend you to calculate how many boxes you will need. If you have long hair, 1 box is not enough thanks to the creamy formula. Dyeing hair is an easy procedure even if you dye your gray hair at home. Before you start dyeing, make sure that you are not allergic to any component of the dye. Check it 48 hours before the procedure. This dye also contains chemicals to make the color permanent. The number 8 position is held by Herbatint Permanent Herbal Hair Color Gel. Herbigen Permanent Herbal Hair Colored Gel does not contain any ammonia but has a long-lasting effect. It was mainly reached by a combination of various herbs, including cinchona, rosemary, and walnut husk. This gray hair natural dye will look amazing on any type of hair. Herbal dyes are the lifesavers for women with allergies on ammonia. It still uses a small number of chemical components, so you need to check the ingredients before you buy the dye. Herbal may have a longer resistant effect than henna because of the pharmaceutical ingredient added in the formula. In the pack, you will find 1 hair color gel, 1 glycol developer, shampoo or royal cream, gloves, and leaflet. Read the leaflet even if you have used a similar dye before. Follow the instructions and wait for the exact amount of time that was suggested to you, so you would receive the natural color. Next at number 9 we have Clairol Natural Instinct. For the guys who are seeking a dye primarily to cover the stubborn gray hairs, Clairol Natural Instinct is a great semi-permanent solution. This is especially true for the dark round formula that makes your hair look as natural as possible. The product takes only 10 minutes to apply but lasts for 28 washes. Even when it fades, it does this in a natural way, without leaving the harsh root lines in the process. Infused with aloe, vitamin E, and antioxidants, the dye doesn't contain ammonia and is also made to protect and condition your skin and hair. Although the color lasts for long and you also get a pack of 3. Don't rush to use the item without testing it on your skin because it can cause you itch, redness, and swelling if you're allergic. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Just for Men Control GX. as the first shampoo that decreases gray hairs with each wash. Just for Men Control GX, in addition, cleans and revitalizes your hair. Usually, it takes between 2 to 4 weeks to see the first results. How fast you'll see the results depends on how often you use it. The great news is that the product works on all hair colors and types, except on a damaged, irritated, and sensitive skin, or if you're allergic to some of the ingredients. The color will look really natural and subtle, and one container should last you for around 2 to 3 months. Some men notice that it turns their nails more and more black with each use, but if you carefully apply it with your palms instead, everything should be fine. That's all for today. We upload fashion product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.